resumes and seek greater career opportunities. All this is possible. But just ask yourself that one question. How true, how sincere, and how genuine are we to the cause? If we are truly concerned, genuine, and true to the cause, if you apply this every living second in your life, how you conduct yourself in life, if it is no different to the way you conduct yourself within the walls of this conference, then it is not wrong. It is in fact the only way forward. And it is only such a group of people who will take this country forward and who will take this world forward. So if you're true to this cause, yes, you can. So to substantiate what I was saying, I will draw from my personal experience, only to substantiate that point. Few years back, when I was at the University of Nottingham, I was also a member of the University of Nottingham Model United Nations Committee in the UK. We participated in the Cambridge MUN, Oxford Model United Nations, World Model United Nations, organized by Harvard and held in Geneva at the time, met students from diverse backgrounds who are still today very much in touch with me. It is then when I scored very good marks for my dissertation that the Human Rights Council of the University of Nottingham sponsored me from our entire LLM batch to go for the United Nations internship in New York. So I started interning at the Department for Economic and Social Affairs at the United Nations. I went only for 3 months, but it went on because things started happening one after the other. And then I went to starting from the focal point of disability, I went to the focal point of youth, and then that was in the social policy and development. Then to also the Security Council, the Counterterrorism Executive Directorate. It was a tremendous experience. I was truly exposing myself to the world and challenging myself to understand how the United Nations work in real life and how different at times it was compared to my Model United Nations experience. It was my stint at the Sri Lankan mission to the United Nations in New York that made me realize that working for the Sri Lankan mission was extremely a different ballgame, and how different it was for compared to working at the United Nations itself. In that context, self-interest of a country and the nationalism reigned supreme. Participating in the high-level and multilateral negotiations was a terrific experience that gave me insight to the power, legacies, and histories of the world we live in. You start to experience diplomacy at its best, imperialism, power politics that trap and crush the small nations into oblivion, potential synergies, and all the benefits of the collective action as well. Then I came to a crucial juncture where I had a choice to make, whether to apply for the position my supervisor has brought to my notice, which happens only very rarely, and choose to continue to work with the United Nations or to return to Sri Lanka to serve our country. I was then living in the 7th Avenue, 42nd Street, Times Square. It was glamorous. And going to the United Nations, I had also met President Bill Clinton, President Bush, Prime Minister Gordon Brown, and I had shaken hands with the Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. It was actually glamorous. I uploaded pictures on the Facebook and my friends were like, wow, what a life, I want to live this life. I was questioning myself continuously, am I here for the right reasons? Will I continue to be here for the right reasons? I was obviously caught up by the glamour. It was glamorous when I had to swipe in the ID card and go in the room. I felt a bit important. I had to do a reality check. But at that time, when I questioned myself as to whether I wanted to continue, though I knew it was one of the most brilliant experiences, I will never ever trade for anything in my life. I felt my contributions to the grassroots will be so much more if I served outside the system and returned to our country. This was my personal choice, influenced by the endless echo of my father, Deepamala Abeysekera, Chairman of Aspirations Education, that man's duty is to serve mankind, and a good place to start that is with one's own country. I returned to Sri Lanka. This is one simple example, friends. I just wanted to tell you make you understand what I tell about question your motives behind your experience and do always a reality check. I quoted this only to drive in the point to say that I have learned to understand that taking decisions from a place of honesty and vision is the best possible way to travel across this journey of life. As the CEO of Apple, Steve Jobs, once said, you can't see the dots when you look forward. It can only be connected when you look backwards. So walk along with a vision, and one fine day you will look back and you will see the connected string of dots. So now back at Aspirations Education, a social entrepreneurial organization where we strive to do everything we can to make whatever that is better in our capacity. It is supporting the same cause of creating responsible citizens who will serve Sri Lanka that Aspirations broke new ground with its innovative initiative in pioneering the 2 television-based reality programs for undergraduates and schoolgoers, these Pathbreakers. Now this tested the team spirit of the people and their talents. So we will also come up with Pathbreaker Season 3, the Social Entrepreneurial Year of the Award of the Year. So delegates, that contest is open to you and some information is given in your folders. There is a leaflet. So if you want more information, you can call us on that. Aspirations Education also continues to sustain our foundation where we give scholarships to more than 100 underprivileged students who just doesn't have the benefits, the sheer basic benefits even in life. And we continue to do that. So that is a path that I chose to follow. And all what I can ask you to do is, even in the smallest thing you do, like in the month, check your intentions. Aspirations Education, what these aspirations is to give back to the system as much as possible and pay back that debt I referred to that can never be repaid in full, and in that process to help develop some true son of a soil and not trade it to a nation. So to conclude and to sum up, we need to understand experiences such as these as a beginning and a starting point. We need to remember that it is a beginning and not an end itself, and our duty is to add value to other people's lives, and how truly genuine and sincere we are to the cause will determine the future of mankind. So let me conclude by saying, though Colombo MUN is a model United Nations conference, in these 3 days, delegates, I ask you to take it upon yourself as a truly unique group to be a model to the United Nations as Aspirations Education. Aspirations Education, we wish you the very best to be a model to the United Nations.
Thank you, Ms. Abeysekera, for those wise words.